everybody. I gotta go get my charger for my computer so I can get the chat up. And turn a light on. I haven't done a live since the car situation. I don't know if I'm gonna get anybody right away. I probably won't. That's okay. Let's get the computer up. Gonna plug this in. All right. I don't think you can see my computer. Hey, we got one person. One person in. I'm just getting the chat part set up. Oh, we got 2 people. All right, if you are in this and you didn't give me a thumbs up, make sure to give me a thumbs up. Still working on the chat part. Alrighty. So, how's everybody doing today? We've got 3 likes, 2 people. Does that mean we got more people coming on? Hey, hey, how's it going? We've got Sheila. She just did a thumbs up. Thank you so much. If you guys do not know, I'm doing this live for the first time since I did my live for the car situation when I was talking about my car being broken down and stuff. So hopefully this works out. Make sure I'm attached to Wi-Fi so my streaming is not weird. Looks like we got 9 people in so far. All right. So, most of you guys must watch my channel. Oh, we have 14 people in here. So if you are new in the chat, give me a thumbs up. That way I know you're here. That way we can, get on with this. So as I'm waiting for people to get in, I did want to let you guys know, I do have my kiddo, my youngest kiddo, little piggy. He is gaming in the background. You might hear him. So I apologize for that, but it's his house first. So he gets to game. I am going to be restarting a new jar. I'm super excited about this, you guys, because I have 4 more of these. I originally bought these for my Etsy shop, but no one really ever seems interested in coin jars, so I'm going to make them my niche for the most part. I've been doing that actually since the beginning of this YouTube channel. I did have some savings challenge books with just coin-based denominations in there. So we did have that up in our shop when we had Etsy. However, I don't have a current Etsy account. I closed my shop permanently. Let me know in the comments in this chat how you feel about me bringing back Etsy. Even if it's just for digital stuff or for specialty stuff. I was thinking about doing a weekly sinking funds notebook where you get all of the sheets for your weekly sinking funds. I've thought about doing planners. I've thought about doing other things involving budgeting other than savings challenges. I've thought about doing some digital savings challenges on a new Etsy shop. So let me know how you feel about that in the comments. It looks like we have so far Sheila, Life with T, we have Rev Christina, we have the Summer Sumner family. And then we have Carol LaValle, and then we have Lucas. Lucas, I'm not going to be able to pronounce your last name correctly. They've all given thumbs up, so I'm going to shout them out in this. If you want a shout out, you need to let me know in the comments. So tell me, you guys, how do you feel about a second Etsy shop? Most of the stuff I think on the Etsy shop would be digital. I did try Ko-Fi. Emma just came in. Emily came in. Versailles came in from Kentucky. Hey. Ko-Fi, the problem with Ko-Fi is not Ko-Fi itself. It's PayPal. So I used to do eBay, and my dad did eBay for the longest time. So 2 things to know about Ko-Fi is they use PayPal. Another thing you need to know about PayPal with Ko-Fi is they do take quite a chunk. So, for instance, Jamie's Realistic Life and I, we tried Ko-Fi. She tried it for herself. I tried it for myself. When I did my donations for my roof repair, I did get a donation that was quite large. They took $300 of that. PayPal did. Also, I was selling digitals on there for like $1.99. I was only getting paid like 75 cents or $1 for it. So, yes, Emma, that's crazy, huh? And then we have, I don't know, Ilona Smith? Is that how you say it? She's from Texas, and it looks like Carol is interested in planners. I'm looking for a month ahead sinking funds idea. So Carol, the idea I have is to make a sinking funds weekly sheet, and then you put your budgeted amount that you want to put in for all your sinking funds for the week. Let's say they're like 10 high priority sinking funds. Like for me, that would be emergency fund. That would be things like Christmas, car maintenance, stuff like that. And then I would put in what I actually could stuff into the envelopes, and then what the total is in that category at the end of the stuffing. Even if you stuffed 0, that way you get an ending balance each week to know how much money you actually have saved. So let me know if that's something you're interested in. I've always loved PayPal, but mine just got hit by a scammer for $100. Ouch. Fighting to get it back. Yes. Oh, thank you, Anna. By the way, you guys, if you're putting anything in the chat, next to the little smiley where it says add emojis, there's a show your support for Amanda's Budgets. It's the little cash thing. If you want to send me a sticker with a little cash, that actually helps me get paid for these lives. I actually don't make any money off of lives, just so you are aware. They don't occur any money. But hey, I was close. I was close to your name. Close enough. But yeah, I'm thinking about making a 4-week front and back impression. If you don't know what that an impression is, it's essentially just if you were to get a front and back piece of paper, and it would be like if this was one piece of paper, you would be able to turn it and it would be on the back. So there would be 4 weeks, so 2 sheets for each month. So that would be 2 times, well actually 2 sheets times 12 months. It would be 24 pages plus a front. And if I did it laminated, I think I might sell them for like 25 or 30 bucks. I'm not sure. Oh, thank you, T. I notice that you comment on my stuff all the time. Just so you guys are aware, I do see your guys' comments. I know who's commenting all the freaking time. Like, I totally know. So if you don't think that I don't see your comments, I do. Haley, she's another one that comments all the time. The weather is terrible, but you're here. Hello, everybody. Yes, hello back. I don't know why I'm having a semi-difficult time dealing with my sinking funds. I'm thinking of doing, I think I'm doing too many. That's kind of what I did. If you guys haven't seen the video that I posted where I condensed one binder down to, well, two high or mid-grade priority binders into this one priority binder, because honestly, you guys, I had pet fund, but I also have this family fund here. This here is no different than having a pet fund because they are part of my family, right? So why wouldn't I just keep it all in one envelope? Condense it down. Condense it down. It's okay. You could do it. I honestly feel less pressured when I am dealing with less sinking funds, because the more sinking funds you have, like I have a holiday binder here, which I got this binder from the Crafty Saver. If you guys don't watch her, she's super sweet. I love her. But I had one just for holidays and one-time one-hit wonders, like back to school, stuff like that. But like, let's say you have car tags, but you have a car maintenance envelope. Condense that baby down. Condense it down. It's worth it. Hey, looks like we have Cameron Ortiz. She's in here. She comments a lot as well. Latin Budget, welcome. So in this, I just wanted to let you guys know I did get my car back, but sadly this has been the slowest gig working day I've seen in a minute. I think it's because we just got our local fair in our county, and then the one that I'm going to be working and doing a lot of Uber Lyft for in the city doesn't start until the end of the month. However, I did have to deal with some unfortunate like family stuff. Oh, thank you so much, Carol. I appreciate you. I don't know why this one doesn't have a likey button. Oh well, I'll send a heart anyway. I have a friend that has a local little shop, and I've talked about them many a times. They have a booth at the fair, but they called me the night before, and she has a 5.3 kidney stone. And she was like, I already had all my vendors pay for a second booth, and we already paid for a booth. So I thought I was going to have to drop everything and help them with their booth, but I did not. She's at the fair. She's miserable, but she's at the fair. We did go to the fair, so hey, Crafty Saver, I just talked about you. I was just talking about the binder that we both have, like, twinsies of. The holiday binder, that's what I use that for. But anyway, so I had a very short gig working day because it's been really, really slow. And I think it's just because the fair is going on throughout the weekend. It doesn't necessarily mean that we won't be getting a lot of stuff going on Friday, which is tomorrow. So I'm hoping for that. How many people do we have in here now? 27. So we're just kind of hanging out tonight. I'm not sure what we're gonna do. I did end up watching Freaky Friday with my youngest son. He's more willing to do things with me because, you know, I'm still kind of the cool mom, and my other kid's turning into a teenager, so he's like, no thank you. But we watched Freaky Friday, and he was at first not into it. He's like, this is a girl movie. I'm like, it's not a girl movie, it's for everybody. And so we watched it, and he adored it. If he likes something, he claps at the end, and so he was clapping. It was so cute. So do you guys have any questions for me? Anything related to what happened with the car? Anything related to any changes in this system? what helps you to save and not spend? Kate asked me a very good, important question. So, Kate, I'm not much of a spender because I don't have a high income. I think that when I look at the grand scheme of things, when I sit down and I make a budget, which I can pull, oh, my computer is sitting on it. I'm like, where's my planner? My computer is sitting on it. When I look at the grand scheme of the big picture, and I know how much my average income is, it helps a lot. Trying not to show my computer on screen, but I'll show you kind of the gist of how I got to the point where I am now, where I don't spend a lot of money. And you guys can say whatever about my car, my car payment here, but this is my average. I'm gonna put you down there. These are my bills. This is what I need to truly survive. Okay, because I'm self-employed and because my husband works a low-wage job, which I do have some news on that here in a minute. How I keep myself from spending is I go, what do I actually need? I need all these things to pay, because these are my basic bills, which I honestly don't think $2,225 is very much, considering that I came from an apartment that was really expensive in the city. We need groceries, we need pet supplies, we need house supplies, we need fuel, and then it gives us a little bit of spending money. But honestly, I truly think that the thing that keeps me from spending is knowing this end total and how much I actually make, and reminding myself that this is all I have to work with my income. So once you realize that your income is fueling your life, and you take away credit cards, you take away extra things. For the longest time, I did not know what people meant by I went over my budget. When I say I went over my budget, I have to take from my income to go to whatever is going to be next on the list. And then I have to go make more money. Okay? So, for instance, if I go over on my grocery bill, like I did, I went over $180, or not $180, $83 or $89, something like that. That came from that day's income. Okay? Because I do gig working, that means I basically didn't make much. So that means that I have to pull from my money. When I hear other people talk about how they use their credit cards, I'm like, okay, I'd be putting stuff back. Okay? If you are struggling with spending, make sure that you know that this is how it's broken down. I highlight it. These are my must be paid. These are variable expenses. These can change based off of my need. I don't always spend this much on groceries. I don't always spend this much on pet supplies. And sometimes I don't even need house supplies. Sometimes I don't even spend $400 on fuel. And sometimes I don't even give us spending money. Okay? So that's kind of how I break it down. And I hope that that answers your question. Another question I got was, what ended up being wrong with your car? My car has one belt. I don't have two separate belts on my car per se to run everything. I have one main belt, and that snapped. They think it was heat related, possibly because of the fact of the 105, 107 degree weather. Rubber does not like heat, okay? So that stretched and broke. They didn't find anything wrong with pulleys, compressor, anything like that. I do have a mechanism, two mechanisms in my car. I have one that is a tiny belt, and it will run while allowing the water pump to still work. So it keeps your car from overheating. A lot of cars overheat when belts are broken and while driving because of the fact that there's nothing there to run that water pump. So the water pump was fine, everything was fine, car did not show any indication that it overheated. They looked at the computer. My car is basically all a big computer. It does have multiple sensors. Eventually, with the belt being snapped, it wouldn't have allowed me to drive. So that's what happened to my car. Hello, Susan. How's it going? And then we have Muscoa from Ontario, Canada. I'm sorry if I botched your name. But that's just kind of how I do things. It makes it a lot easier for me. And I hope that answers your questions. We do have some budgeting to do for our final paycheck of the month, which honestly, I'm just going to fill in that I only paid for the remainder of the car payment. I do need to go over my tracker here as well for my car payment towards the end of the month, which I will make a video on that. But we do have August to work on. I do want to decorate for August. I think because it's the last month of summer, I want this to be so summery that it's crazy. But I also want to get some stickers from Life and envelopes so that way I can track all my bills, spending, all that. That way I know for the next month what I need to budget for, because I feel like that helped me a lot in the past when I did it that way. And I will be adding the budgeting sheets into the back of this. I do want to say I love the Happy Planner stuff. They are my favorite. This Happy Planner punch here that I have, this baby is giant. And it's got a bunch of pollen on it. Excuse me. Yes, pollen, meaning that I live in a very juniper tree-like area. And this gets stuff like anything metal, and my printer over in the corner gets tons of pollen on it as well. But this punch was like $50, and I was like not wanting to pay for it, but I did anyway. It was the best purchase I ever made. Home with a bad cold. How did you get a bad cold, Susan? Don't do that. I hope you do feel better though. Muscoa, right? I don't know, I'm terrible at pronouncing. So do you think your homeless experience changed how you look at money? Did it change me? Not sure. In any positive way. Made me fearful with money. Yes, I have spending anxiety as well. I do. I will say this. I think my homelessness experience made me realize that I am definitely not a risk taker, never was a risk taker, and I suffer from some PTSD things. Like, I still don't really think I have a sense of home. Home to me is kind of irrelevant because I feel like it can change at any time. Even though I'm a homeowner, I still have a hard time. Like, I want to pick out curtains, but I haven't been able to. I want to decorate, but I'm scared to. I want to redo my bathroom, and I redid the roof, and now I'm like, I don't know about this bathroom. Because what if something happens? That's always in my mind. I will say that homelessness has changed me in a lot of positive ways as well. It made me look at things as a whole. Stuff is stuff, and you can always get more stuff. I also learned a lot of resourceful things from homeless people. I also learned that just because they're homeless and they may not look clean, kept, they're still a human being, and they deserve nothing but respect. If you pass a homeless person and somebody says hello to you, please acknowledge them and say hello back. They are human. They are looking for human connection. When you are homeless, you disappear. If you're a long-term homeless individual, you are extra disappearing. I learned a lot about how to bust a move, how to hustle a little bit harder than I already knew how to hustle. My dad has been a hustler all his life. He he has a sales marketing degree, so he knows how to like start businesses. He knows how to sell things. So we did eBay. He does Craigslist. He is always interested in an alternative way of working. So he is also a DoorDash driver. He got me into gig working, which was a lifesaver. But homelessness definitely changed me in a lot of ways, and it made me relook at life too. You know, and how I do things, and being grateful for certain things. Like my husband always tells me, man, you get excited when these bills are paid. Like you want a little trophy for the month. You get excited when you pay the bills. Like you did it, you're relaxed, you're home. I did it. I get excited about going out to make money. I get excited when I have a really good day. I get pretty bummed and pretty down and out when I have a bad day out there gig working. But I can tell you this, a lot of that stemmed from not having it. Not having a place to live, not having a place to be, not having security, not feeling safe, not having enough resources for food. You don't realize homeless people spend a lot of money on food. You know why? Because they have nowhere to cook it. It completely changes you, good and bad. Yes, that is correct. I am aware of your resilience. It seems like no matter what life throws at you, you just keep going and fighting. It's so inspirational. Oh, thank you, Carol. The reason why I keep going, I get asked this a lot. How do you not feel burnt out? I'm burnt out all the time. Sorry, I'm burnt out 100% of the time. I'm burnt out from one end of the candle to the other, and I am still busting my butt. Okay, so today I want to tell you a little something that I did. I did some self-funded independent research. If you do not know who says that, you must not watch any comedy. But Dave Chappelle says that. Self-funded independent research. So I like saying it too. Because I do feel, hey, AF budgets. Welcome. I like to know what's going on in the world of housing. Housing is always a question on my mind. Where can I get better housing for a decent price? What does the market look like for work? What kind of jobs is there? I'm not going to drive forever. I can't afford to drive forever. I've got one car. I also can't afford to live in Oregon forever. So I called about a few different areas. Atlanta, Georgia, and the outskirts of Atlanta, Georgia. I also called about some other southern states. I called about San Antonio, Texas. That looked appealing. I don't want to deal with winters anymore. Winters suck. And I'm not saying I want to live in the heat either. I ain't going to Arizona. I do not want my shoes to melt while I'm walking. Okay? So I do that kind of research all the time. So being homeless sucks. I'm so blessed to have pulled myself out of that back in the mid to late 80s. I will say this, okay? In the 80s, everyone, thought, oh, it's so easy to get a house. Housing was cheaper back then. Every generation who's bought a house, you guys, or lived in housing, they all have housing problems. It just may be for one reason or another. Okay, not all of us are going to be T-Mobile call center. Is that where you work? I'm confused. I do like call center work, I will say this. I worked for the big APPL. I I did technical support for APP. Oh my god, I can't even talk. I worked for that company. I can't actually say it. Not that I know of, but I worked for them. I did tech support. I love them. I also worked for another call center as well. No, not me. My daughter's boyfriend said they start out at $22 an hour. Where is that at? You got me curious now. You said 22 bucks an hour. That I like that number. Yep. Oh my goodness. I like that number. How many minutes have we been on here? I said 45 at max. Ew, we're at 30 already. That went fast. Here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, what's the housing like over there? Maybe I should do myself an independent research in that area. I'm looking for decent priced housing with a booming market. It's going to be kind of hard for me to find. Definitely ain't happening in Oregon. Don't move here. Don't move here. Oregon's too expensive. Your income tax here, because we don't have tax on the things we buy, so it's kind of incorporated in the price. So let's say you go get groceries, you don't pay taxes on top of groceries. But you do pay 21% in income tax, which you may or may not get back. And if you are without dependents and you're working a low-wage job, you are not getting anything back. Nothing back. So, we've already been on here for 30 minutes. How many people are left in here? Oh, we have 32 people. That's crazy. So, I just wanted to come on here and chit-chat. What's NC? Is that North Carolina? No. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, okay? I've lived in Oregon so long. I haven't even been to some of these states before. I've never been to Texas. I've never been to Big Hat No Cattle. Well, wait a minute. I live in Big Hat No Cattle. Okay, North Carolina. Yeah, see? I haven't been to North Carolina before either. Come down south. You live in the south? Is it cheaper over there? I don't want to rent. I just want to buy something. So here's my ultimate dream, and I haven't said this yet on the tube. Not once. But if you are in here, you now know my ultimate goal. Okay, you ready for it? I want to buy a house outright. I want to find a cheap, booming place to live where I can buy a house outright with cash. Cash is king. I love my little mobile home, but I can't live here forever. This is a 1966, and even if I put a lot of work into this, let's say I put 10 grand worth of work in this, it isn't going to make it less old. Okay? So, that's a lovely goal. Yes, it is, Haley. I agree. No Charlotte or any big city, LOL. Thank you for loving my channel. I appreciate it. 3-bedroom, 1 bath, 150,000. That's not bad. That's not bad. So I'm going to tell you, the average house right now, even with the housing market going down, is $575,000. You need 3.5% down, so let's do the little mathy math. I gotta do this over here. So 600. Let's say it's 600,000. Okay, that's just for a basic little house. You can watch your neighbor flush the toilet, and you don't have a yard, and you don't have a garage, and you got a 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath. That's what that will get you here in my area of Oregon, and actually most all areas in Oregon where there's jobs. So we're going to minus 3.5%. Yikes. That's quite a number. That's quite a number. So you would have to have a lot of money just to get into a home. So AF budgets, for the amount down I can put on a house here, I could put a heck of a lot of money down on that other house that you're talking about. That's crazy. So here's something I've learned about Californians. I'm not saying Californians are bad. Please do not take this the wrong way, Californians. But you come to my area. You buy out a house because you sold your other house. Let's say you sold your house for a couple million. Because California is very expensive. California, New York City, booming, expensive, expensive, expensive. Especially those who come from LA. So what they do here is they buy a house to live in, and then they buy another house that they are making pretty decent small payments on because they put some money into it, and then they rent that out, and that's what makes our housing very high as renters. I can tell you right now, it's crazy. Yeah. 3-bedroom, 1-bath ranch in her neighborhood is going for $1 million. Yeah. Yeah, we're talking like the house that I was talking about for $600,000. It's not big. It's not big at all. And there's no transportation here either. Not really. We have one bus that comes twice a day through my little tiny city. So if you gotta go to work and you don't have a car, 6 a.m. you gotta be on that bus, and you gotta be on that bus by 6 p.m. Otherwise you're paying for an Uber Lyft, and it's gonna be $100. So I bought my house outright before the pandemic. Now it's zero chance of being able to afford anything now. Yes, and if you own a home outright, don't be doing nothing crazy. Don't be doing anything crazy with that, okay? So I'm just letting you know, you guys, it's very expensive out there. I'm not saying that that hope and dream is ever going to happen, that I'm going to pay cash for another house. Because I paid cash for this, $5,000. It's not a lot of money. And you know what? Maybe one day when all this is prettiful looking and organized and all the things, we might do a house tour. We might. What a $5,000 single wide manufactured home, a 1966 in Oregon looks like. We can do that. Not the outside, but the inside for sure. But I was looking at San Antonio, Texas, because I am involved in a lot of Facebook groups where they talk about DoorDash and Uber and Lyft and other gig apps that I don't have in my area, like Amazon Flex. Has anybody here done any Amazon Flex? Let me know. If not, that's okay. So basically, Amazon Flex is where you're delivering packages from Amazon plant. We don't have an Amazon plant in my area of Oregon. I think we only have 2 in Oregon. But anyway, I'm interested in knowing what these people make. I'm telling you, the Uber Lyft game, people make good money. Good money. Really good money. The money is not a problem. Like, these people in these areas, these bigger cities, are making buco bucks. And yes, they're doing a lot of driving. And I asked the real estate guy, I said, do you ever see any Uber Lyft drivers buying houses? And he says, all the time. He's like, and the crazy part about it is they just take this money that they're making and they put a percentage of it away so they can buy another car when the other one's no longer supporting their need. In other words, they killed it. So I'd be interested in living in an area like that. But I'm not going to move to California, even though I love California. I love California. I could be a California girl. Katy Perry can put me on as a second in her song. I'll be a California girl. I like California. I like the West Coast. I'm not going to get you wrong, guys. I like the West Coast. Somebody asked me if I have to worry about hurricane awareness and stuff like that. There is no hurricanes in Oregon. We don't have any natural disasters in Oregon. That's the thing I do like. And that's honestly something that my husband and I have talked about. He does not want to move outside of his support system. Okay? Which kind of seems crazy to me because I have none. I don't know if you guys know, but you are my support system. So I appreciate you and I thank you guys so much for that. I am going to probably cut this short because we're at 40 minutes. Well, we didn't cut it short. We're almost at 45 minutes, okay? So, as always, do what you can with what you got because it's all you have to work with, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye! Oh, hey, I'm cheering you guys on in whatever journey you're going through. And if you need anything, I am always on Instagram. Find me, Amanda's Budgets. I'm also now on TikTok. I don't know how to TikTok very well, so bear with me. But I do post extra stuff on both of those models. And yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Anna, for the $1.99. I appreciate you. Woohoo, I gave you another heart. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Okay, how do I end this thing? Okay, button.